cold frames versus deep mulch garden versus critters. How do we critter proof our garden? Well, we're going to do the best we can. The viewers of this channel are simply amazing. A couple years ago, a viewer wrote in and told me about castor oil. In your raised beds, your cold frames, or just pulling plastic, not only are we creating an environment that will protect the plants, we're also creating a little microenvironment, and the little voles and moles, they think this is pretty hospitable. So do the slugs and snails. So we're just treating with the stuff I use. The castor oil is perfectly safe, and it's the best thing that I found that is non-poisonous to take care of a lot of these little critters. Today is Saturday, and you know what that means. We go to you and we talk about what's going on in your garden. We will look at the Joneses' garden in the UK. And that just put a fine point on several questions I've just received recently about deep mulch, raised beds, and critters. In the cold frame, I'm just going to go around the edges and I'll put the castor oil pretty heavy, deter them from coming in. Cold weather got here a little quicker today than I thought. We didn't have to cover for the last 3 days. We got a good rainstorm yesterday, but it's dropped down to about 32 degrees right now. We're going to go ahead and get this plastic over, let that sun warm that soil, keep those roots alive. Now that I've treated for the pests, we should be good to go. While I button up this garden for a few days of really cold weather, let's go to the UK and look at the Joneses' garden. Their vegetables were hurt pretty bad by slugs and snails, but their flowers are beautiful. And as a cold front comes across America, this just shows us what we can look forward to. And just recently, I've got a lot of questions about critters in the garden. They break down in a couple different categories. Slugs and snails, I think everybody's plagued with those. Moles and voles, what I found, as soon as you get your garden growing well, they learn where the grocery store is. And snakes. And honestly, if I had more snakes, I'd have a lot less moles and voles. All of these critters are in nature, and we're trying to get back to the most natural way of growing we can. We're going to have them. My garden's cut out of a little patch of ground with trees on both sides. I'm going to have slugs and snails. Now this slug bait, it's non-poisonous. It seems to do a pretty good job of mitigating these. The voles and moles, same thing. If you're out in nature, they tend to burrow, they tend to move around. I know they can really destroy your yard and they can really destroy your garden. But castor oil seems to do a pretty good job of deterring them. Cats and small dogs do a pretty good job of helping patrol the garden also. Since I understand I'm going to have these critters, I plant a little heavy. That's one strategy I've used that's been pretty successful. You might want to try that. And having a chaos garden where you have multiple different plants in one area kind of confuses them. Well, I don't know if it confuses them, but it makes your garden fun. Now the castor oil and the slug bait, you can find what I use on my Amazon store. The link is in the description box below. If you want to learn more about building healthy soil and eliminating weeds, this new book has it all in there. Check out the review from one of our viewers. I really appreciate all the support. If you find any of my information helpful, you can support the channel by going to Amazon and buying one of my books. Well, I'm buttoned up about as much as I can be, and it is cooling off pretty fast. I'm gonna head to the house and get a cup of coffee. Now, if you wanted to buy me a cup of coffee, you wouldn't hurt my feelings. Until next time, remember, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and God bless you. Come on, let's plant.
Let's go plant garden.